Hardik. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine as well. So we can start with a little bit introduction about yourself, about your educational or professional background.
Okay, so myself, Hardik Sharma. I am studying BA Business Management at the University of Leeds. It's my third year, so I'm about to graduate in July. Uh, as far as we talk about my professional background, I have done three internships at three different companies. KSB Infrabuild, Shri Sabri Infratech Limited, and one of them in my university module companies. It was a industrial module, so we had to work with the company. And if you talk about co-curriculars, I am the president of the Indian Student Association here at University of Leeds. So I represent more than 1,500 Indian students studying here. And I'm also the public relations officer for the Sustainability Society here. And I'm also the social secretary for the Economic Society. And recently I got admitted into the NUS SEM program. And yeah.
Okay, that was a very good profile. So moving to the next question. Which school did you receive offers from?
So I only applied into universities. That was Warwick Business School and NUS SEMS, and I got offers from both of them. And I chose to go to NUS and leave behind Warwick.
Okay, that was great. So like, was any of these your dream school?
If I talk about my mental state, I don't have any dream schools. It's just a school that I would like to go to because dream school can be anything. Like for example, dream school for me would be Harvard, but I didn't want to go to Harvard because I don't want to study in US. But then SEMS, which is ranked like top five. Basically, my dream was to study in a university that was ranked top five in the world, so that it matters. So I checked out, and then I saw that SEMS with NUS is something which will give me an opportunity to study at three different universities at three different places. So that, intrigued me a little, and I was like, yeah, that'll fulfill my travel requirements as well. So I chose to go to NUS SEMS, and yeah.
Okay, that's great. So like, how did you feel when you opened the offer letter?
Well, to be honest, the person who was helping me out, Sahil and me, we had a chat. And earlier, I had set my eyes on Warwick that, yeah, I'm going to Warwick Business School. And when I got the offer from Warwick, I was pretty happy. And we celebrated, we opened a champagne bottle and all that stuff. But when I was giving my interview, when I got shortlisted for the interview round for NUS, and then me and Sahil had a chat again. And then we had a chat about how NUS would be better than Warwick. And then I did my whole other research. And then I found out that yes, it is like pretty amazing to get into NUS because statistics which I saw, which showed that the percentage of students who get shortlisted in NUS is pretty low. That made me feel even more proud when I got the offer. And yeah, I was pretty happy. My dad was happy, and it was a proud moment.
That's great. So like, what challenges did you face during the application process?
So when I came to UK for University of Leeds, the whole procedure was on UCAS, and it was not that difficult since everything was integrated into one particular website. But when we are applying for masters, we have to apply individually to each and every university and their portals. I personally, since I would have never done masters before, I found it a bit new, and that was a challenge. I didn't know how to what sort of documents do you actually need for masters, and how to actually access the portal, and how to fill up details, and what kind of details do you actually need, and all that stuff. And yeah, those were some challenges. Then maybe preparing for the interview rounds before them, shortlisting questions and seeing what all they can answer, because it was a group discussion round and they can literally ask you anything. So I had to reverse myself with all these general knowledge questions and all the political and economic affairs that are going on in the world right now. And then, yeah, this much information at once was a pretty challenge. And then, but then again, Sahil was there to help me out. He really helped me out in all the steps of these applications, and then preparing me for the interview round as well. So yeah, I had a pretty good mentor with me.
Okay. So like, adding more to this question only, how did Edbit Scholar help you overcome these challenges?
Like I mentioned, I had Sahil with me throughout the procedure. Whenever I had a question or I had a doubt about any sort of a thing. For may let it be a certain document that I'm missing, or let it be my SOP, which was the biggest challenge of it all, writing this big SOP to entertain the university admission people, admission committee, and all those people. And yeah, whenever I had a doubt, whenever I felt like, is this something that I should include in my SOP? Is this a document? How should I do that? And maybe let it come to the most simple thing of it all, the CV. Uh, Making up my CV and making it better, beautiful, and more professional, and stuff that I didn't know that I could add. But then Sahil helped me that, yeah, you should add that as well. So yeah, these small, teeny tiny steps that we took together, and the doubts that I had, even the smallest of them, and I could just reach out to him and I could clarify those doubts, and he was there to help me out. Yeah.
Like, how would you describe your experience working with Sahil sir, our founder?
So one of my friends who also got into Imperial, she recommended me about your company, and she told me that she was already working with Sahil, and he's the founder. So she set up a meeting with me and Sahil, and then on our first meeting itself, it was a pretty funny thing. He so in our first meeting we were talking about, he was asking me questions and all that stuff, and I really liked his vibe. It was not all professional, it was a bit of casualness as well, and that really made it more comfortable because it sort of felt like, yeah, I'm talking to a friend of mine who's pretty well versed in this field, and he could help me out. So it wasn't very, it didn't make it very weird or awkward that before asking any questions I have to write an email or something like that. So in the first meeting when we were talking, he suggested that yes, he will appoint me a new mentor, and after talking to him I was like, no, I would really like if you would be my mentor for this whole journey. And he agreed to that, and yeah, I mean, he's a great guy. He's funny, and he is well versed in this field, first of all, because I think he himself has gone to INSEAD, which is a pretty good thing, huge thing. So yeah, it was pretty nice working with him, and he helped me out a lot.
Okay, that's great. So, like, were you hesitant and did you had a belief that you would get into these top B schools?
To be very honest, even the best of the best hesitate a little bit and feel nervous, even though they have a pretty good profile. Still applying to any uni that they would like to go to, they feel hesitant. That's how you should feel. That makes you stay on the ground. But yes, I was assured constantly by a lot of people in my life that the kind of profile that I have, the kind of person that I am, the kind of personality that I have, it shouldn't be that difficult to get into a uni that I am targeting. One of those people was Sahil himself as well, because I kept on asking him whenever I felt like, am I going to get into it? Am I going to get into it? And I used to call him up and I used to text him that how difficult it's going to be. Am I going to get in? And then he used to assure me that, yes, Hardik, you have a pretty good profile, you have a pretty good SOP and a CV, and the chances are pretty high for you, and you'll get into that uni. And yeah, I mean, everyone feels hesitant, but I think that if deep inside, you know that if you've done enough work in your life, you should get where you want to be.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, moving on to the next question. How would you describe your experience with the first consultation call, like that you had with Sahil sir only?
Like I said, on that first call, the way we started, so basically, I have had a lot of these kind of consultation calls. I explored a lot of options before choosing your company, and yeah, if I talk about the other calls, whenever they started out, the other person used to be pretty serious, and it would be really difficult for someone to just get into it and talk freely. But as soon as, first of all, Sahil is from India, and he speaks Hindi as well. When we started our conversation, he was pretty chill. His first greeting was in Hindi, and then I felt like, yeah, this is a free space, and I can freely talk to him. And he's someone that I sort of know or can relate to. And the whole conversation was pretty chill. It was pretty nice. It was pretty informative, and I knew about NUS, but he was the one who gave me pretty big details about how the program is going to be, whether I should apply or not, and how it's going to be in the future. So yeah, I would say that the first conversation itself, as you say, right, that the first impression is the last impression. So yeah, the first impression of him was very nice, and I hope that mine was nice too.
Okay, that's great. So, like, would you recommend Admit Scholar to others Why or why not?
I would say that I would recommend Admit Scholar to students who already have some sort of an idea about where they want to be, and they have an idea about what kind of things they need to do to get into a uni and do their masters. Because I feel like that the procedure that Admit Scholar offers, it's already it's a guidance. It's something that there will be a person who's going to guide you throughout the process, but you're going to have to do a lot of things on yourself. Like for example, if it's about writing an SOP, so yes, the mentor will make it better. He will help you out in adding a few things or removing a few things, and then shorting it according to the word, everything, a word count. But I feel like that a person who has no idea about how to write an SOP, about how to go up with the procedure, I think they will find it a little bit difficult. So I feel, and I think that's a pretty low percentage of people. Uh, a pretty like I guess only a few people are on that boat who don't have no of idea about where to go and how to do that. But I feel like most of them have some sort of an idea, and they can do pretty great with the help of Admit Scholar. So yeah, I feel like I could recommend the Admit Scholar to those people, and yeah, I feel like it's a pretty nice platform to work with.
Okay, that's great. So, the last question, do you have any tips or words of encouragement for the future applicants?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that some people, I'm not saying you shouldn't take it seriously, but some people take it way too seriously. They mess up their head up, and then they're all the time they're thinking about whether I will I get in or not. I feel like that thinking about this question, whether I will get in that university or not. This question is good to think about. It gives you perspective. It gives you a real ground image. But I feel like that more than thinking about that question, you should think about how much you have done and how much can I make it better. So yes, I feel like that. First of all, nothing is impossible, and if you want to get into a uni and you work hard enough, you will get into that uni. And of course, I feel like that I personally believe that stars have a big role to play in that. If stars are with you, if God is with you, and if it's written for you, no one can stop you from getting into that uni. But don't let that affect your hard work and your journey. I feel like there's a quote that I read once, that God has written a book for your life, which includes everything, but He has left some pages empty for you to write. So I feel like not everything that you are doing is something that He planned. Some things are in your hands as well. So I feel like set your eyes on some goal and then definitely work hard towards it. And I'm sure that you will get into a uni that you're planning. Yeah.
Absolutely true. A very good lesson for future applicants. So, thank you, Hardik. It was really a nice time talking to you.
Thank you so much.